just remember having the thought that this is for fucking money. So yeah, my mom was fucking trash. So we were just really, really poor. You know, she wasn't a high-end prostitute either. Like,
right.
Honestly, if you're a hooker,
by the way, you don't need to say that.
Well, that's crazy though.
I appreciate that you don't need to say. I love that you have to. You go, just in case anyone out there was wondering. My mother. She was not high-end.
She was an attractive
prostitute.
woman. In fact, if you go on my Instagram,
she's pretty. But you know, high-end prostitute is not only attractive; it's like it's a whole thing.
No, they got to be kind of. They're hot.
Well, they got to be hot. First and foremost, they got to be hot.
All right, go to my Instagram right now.
They got to have the money to travel.
Go to Mother's Day. Okay. Go down right to the right. That's my mom with the red hair.
Okay, right here.
Okay, right here. My mom cleaned up.
No, she's pretty.
She's a pretty woman. She cleaned up.
Yeah.
Okay, that's my sister right there. Okay. Now, she would not be
I just look at you and your sister. This is what I think. And I say to myself, God bless this woman, because I would have abandoned you kids instead of fucking to feed you two, which by the way, you're clearly fed. I would have abandoned you two immediately, like at a truck stop in Jersey.
No.
But good for her. I respect
what a sad family photo.
Growing up, one of my women that I looked up to was a prostitute, my friend's mother, and she would explain to us how she was always a prostitute. And she was still kind of a prostitute, and she took all that money and invested it in stocks and knew all about the market, and she was very interesting.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, my mom didn't do any of that. My mom bought heroin with it.
Yeah.
And I think when she was hard up for heroin, I think her prices would drop dramatically.
Right, yeah. Then it was just kind of a...
But she would be a $300 an hour hooker.
Right. Did she ever admit it to you?
No, we never got there.
You never broached it either?
Never got there. She...
were there men coming and going, or did you...
that's what we're paying her for.
Right. But would you notice like different guys around?
No. So this is when I was really young. I don't think she was hooking when I was like at an age where I really had memories of it.
Gotcha.
So I was like 3 or 4.
Well, that was nice of her.
Yeah. You know, she ended up, becoming a hairdresser, which is actually,
no,
I have less respect for hairdressers than I do for hookers.
Oh, much less.
I mean,
but here's what's nice about her. She didn't sell you or your sister. Some prostitutes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, in fairness to her, it was a hard sell. That would have been a tough sell. You and your sister. That would have been a very rough. You
got to be into both. If you're into both of us, that's a lot.
Well, you got to be a pedophile and kind of blind.
Be into fat cholos.
Yeah, you got to have a fat cholo fetish as a pedophile. Like, imagine, are there those pedophiles that go to Epstein's Island and they're like, yeah, I know you got all these thin, white kids, but like, I want fat cholos.
I want fat Mexican kids, not hot Eastern European.
I want gathering of the juggalos cholos.
Yeah. So our vacations that I remember, we would go to Seaside Heights, New Jersey. And I just, I remember.
Because it's nice because it's the beach and she could score.
She could probably.